Could this site hold the future for British farming? 40 hectares of greenhouses will be built here, heated by the burning of rubbish from an incinerator right next door. It could provide around 6% of tomatoes consumed in the UK, making it the largest low-carbon horticulture site in Europe, the first of its kind. Almost all of Essex's rubbish will come here.
Household waste we brought in trucks into the site. It delivered into our waste bunker, lifted up into the hopper and into the incinerator where all of the waste is destroyed. And then from that, all of the hot air and gases comes out into the boiler. So the boiler produces steam, and some of that steam we'll use to divert to our new heat exchanger we're going to install, and that will produce the hot water to be sending over to the new greenhouses.
Burning rubbish doesn't sound very good for the environment. What is it that you're doing here that is better than what's gone previously?
If waste goes to landfill, it will degrade in landfill and give out greenhouse gases, particularly methane, which is a much stronger greenhouse gas than the carbon dioxide that will emit here. So actually the amount of CO2 we're emitting is 20% less than if the waste had gone to landfill.
Growing more food in the UK brings additional environmental benefits.
Almost half of the UK's fresh vegetables are imported, the lowest levels since records began. If we look at tomatoes, the ones that you buy come all the way from Morocco, Spain and the Netherlands, despite the impact on the environment.
In southern Spain, the sheer number of plastic polytunnels are visible from space where our fruit and veg is grown. Droughts plague the area. Then trucks bring the produce all the way to the UK, releasing thousands of tonnes of CO2. For those behind this new model of greenhouses, which should begin operating in 2027, there is another way forward.
The key issue is one of sustainability. Water paucity is the key issue in North Africa and in southern Spain, and also extremes of temperature and the effects of climate change. What we're seeking to do here is to reshore, if it was tomatoes, 7 to 8% of tomato imports by growing in Essex.
But the National Farmers Union says projects like these are being hampered by government policy, which forces all developers to benefit nature through their bills.
In many parts of the country, for a project like this, you're going to have to buy extra land to offset what's seen as a biodiversity impact. But that policy was originally designed around housing estates and larger sort of factories and commercial developments. So that's quite a significant burden on this type of investment, and it is going to impact investments like this, across time, across the country.
A government spokesperson says DEFRA is working closely with the sector to make biodiversity net gain work more effectively, whilst investing $5 billion into farming. But many believe the way we procure food is not sustainable, and the solution could be closer to home. Alice Porter, Sky News.